Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now for those who are coming across the channel for the first time, my name is Daniel and I share everything UK immigration, transition into tech and personal finance. Now I've made loads of videos in the last year and I've had loads of conversations with people who are currently on different visa categories, ranging from those who are on the skilled worker visa looking for how to make extra income. I make loads of videos on how you can make extra income while working full-time, while working part-time, and even if you're a stay-at-home mom, how you can make extra income from the comfort of your home. So I've got a couple of videos on this channel you can have a look, and I've also had a conversation with people who are currently on the study visa route, on the post-study visa route, who are trying to get a job. And for those who don't know, I have a community called TechDrive community where we've got loads of people who are trying to get into data analytics, who have learnt data analytics with TechDrive, and I've been able to get a job. Like I made in my previous video, this month, August alone, we're probably just halfway into the month of August. So today's 15th of August. We already have about 6 job offers. I know the last video I mentioned we had 3 offers. Between the last video and today, we had 3 additional job offers within the TechDrive community. In as much as it's quite an exciting time for us on how people who have zero knowledge of data have been able to get into data analytics. I wouldn't use the word effortless because it took a whole lot of commitment, a whole lot of learning, relearning, unlearning during the course of the training and even after the training. I think my next video is going to be one of the testimony of one of our students that just got a job. Not just a job, I actually got 2 job offers, which is quite interesting and fascinating. So by the way, if you want to learn data analytics with TechDrive, we've got a training starting on the 30th of September 2025. All you need to do is to drop an email to the email displayed on your screen right now, info@techdriveuk.com, to get more details about the training and just get as much information on how you can build those competence, those skills in data analytics, ranging from learning how to use advanced Excel, SQL, SSIS, Power BI, and all of the additional support like CV review, portfolio creation, interview preps, among many work experience, most especially UK work experience, among many other things. Now, this is not the focus of this video. The focus of this video basically is about those who are currently on study visa, post-study visa, who are trying to get sponsorship. And this video is going to be brutally honest. I'm going to be very, very honest and realistic in this video, just to make sure that we have good idea of how the job market is at the moment, especially for visa sponsorship roles, and some of the mistakes that some people make. Some of those mistakes are not intentional. They're probably mistakes that happen based on unforeseen and unplanned change in circumstance. Now, one of the things I tell people is that most organizations now in the UK, I don't know if you've got the same experience, but most organizations here in the UK now are a little bit reluctant when it comes to visa sponsorship. Many of them are not willing to sponsor anymore. That doesn't depict the fact that some of them are still willing to sponsor. Now, out of the 6 of us we've gotten in TechDrive this month, 2 of them came with sponsorship, and the employer sponsored immediately. They were not even waiting for the person to go through the 6-month probation and a lot of the stuff. So 2 of them came with sponsorship. We've got 1 that we're still waiting to get a feedback from HR if they are going to sponsor. It meets all of the requirements for the role, so we're still waiting for HR to give us a decision whether they're going to sponsor or not. Why the other 3 job roles didn't come with sponsorship? Because they were mostly fixed-term contract roles. One of them is a permanent role, but is with a private company that doesn't sponsor. They've got no license and they've got no plan to get a license to sponsor. So now, in as much as the job market is there, except for those who are looking at going into data analytics, there are lots of opportunities. Every organization needs a data analyst, every sector needs a data analyst. So the number of vacancies available for that particular role is unlimited. There are massive number of vacancies available for data analyst role. However, not all of those job roles come with sponsorship. And this is one thing I tell people. I've had conversation with people who their sponsor. For example, most organizations now tell you, oh, we need to wait until you're about 3 months to the end of your program or to the end of your current visa before we can sponsor you, which kind of makes sense because it's a way of them cutting costs, seeing you work for a while before they then provide sponsorship, then providing sponsorship when you have a valid visa that is still running at the moment. So most organizations are now asking for people to wait until 3 months to the end of our program. Now that's valid. Even if you have a sign, for example, I had one of the individuals I spoke with a few months ago. Even the organization wrote a contract to say we're going to sponsor you 3 months towards the end of the program. And something changed, policy changed. The job was not eating enough salary. So for example, she had the job was paying about, I think, what, 31,000 as at the time when they promised to sponsor, and they wanted to leverage on the new entrant rule. So when it's 3 months to the end of the post-study, they will sponsor, and they wrote a legal document saying they will, because she meets the requirements at that time. Now, unfortunately for her, the 3 months was going to, the 3 months to the end of her visa was going to start, I think, on the 28th of July. Yeah, 28th of July, thereabouts. That was when her 3 months to the end of the current visa would expire. So when the policy came up, she went back to the employer and said that, oh, see, I've got 3 months, I've got about 4 months left. However, the government is bringing in a new policy from the 1st of July and they're implementing it on the 22nd of July. Is it possible for me to get the certificate of sponsorship before this policy gets implemented? And there was a lot of back and forth. I mean, she couldn't fight it so much because the legal document she has says it has to be 3 months towards the end of her program. So if they're going to give her before 3 months, before 3 months to the end of the program, to the end of the post-study visa, it will be because they just want to, not because they are legally binded to do that, if you get what I mean. So anyway, unfortunately, they dragged the whole conversation, and by the time they were ready to provide the COS, she no longer meets the requirement. So her salary was 31,000, and when the change got implemented, it says that you have to earn about 33,400 for you to get sponsored if you're looking at leveraging on the new entrant rule, which makes it a little bit, which makes it impossible for her to get sponsored, basically, because the salary doesn't meet the requirements, and the organization is not willing to bump the salary a bit up to meet the requirements. And now she's caught in a dilemma right now. That one, she's probably going to lose the job if her current visa expires. She may also lose her rights to live and work in the UK if her visa expires also. So yeah, there's a lot of conversation we're doing right now, a lot of stuff we're putting into place just to find a way and explore other options that you can harness or leverage on in order to stay back in the country. And this is something I tell people here, in as much as you've got like a permit from your organization, please guys, have a backup plan. I know sometimes these organizations, they mean well, but sometimes certain situations can happen that it's going to be out of their hands. For example, what happened right now, the company is willing to sponsor, but they just want to wait 3 months to the end of the program or to the end of the post-study visa. And now, I mean, they can't do anything. They can't sponsor even if they can, and they're willing to. So please make sure you have a backup plan when you're waiting for that employer to sponsor. Don't wait until 2 months to the end of your current visa. I've seen some people wait a month until the end of their current visa before they start running here and there to find a solution to the situation. So what I tell people is find an alternative. Like, I mean, nobody wants to, I mean, most people don't want to do the care job for a long time, but I mean, it's not a bad idea if you have, if you have an employer willing to sponsor through the care route as a backup plan, basically. You can even decide to work with the care or maybe part-time, probably 20 hours a week, just to have them, build that trust with them. And another option basically is try and have an admission. And this is something I tell people. I mean, everyone I speak with, especially those on the post-study visa, a year, 8 months, few months to the end of your program, and you're still struggling to get a job that would sponsor, please have that admission letter with you. One thing about admission is that you can always defy anyway. So if you have the admission letter and you're still open, you can always move it forward and say, okay, I'm not starting September intake, I want to start from the January session. So yeah, please have that admission, either it's a master's, a new master's admission, or a PhD. Now people say, oh, are you so desperate to stay back? I mean, if you've got like a better plan on leaving the country to explore other options outside the country, why not? After your post-study, you can move out of the UK. However, if your plan is to stay back and explore other options, open yourself to more opportunities, I think it makes sense to make sure you have an admission letter. So if you're on a post-study visa, your visa is expiring in 8 months, in 7 months, in 6 months, and you're still struggling to get visa sponsorship role, please apply to that university and have that admission letter with you as a backup plan in case things doesn't work out the way you've always expected. So please have that in mind. It's really, really important. I've had lots of conversations in the last couple of weeks with people who were 2 months to the end of their pre-study, 1 month. I even had someone who has just few weeks left and there's no sight of sponsorship ahead. So yeah, just make sure you have a backup plan. That's the essence of this video, so you don't get stuck and completely caught unaware by your immigration status. And if you have any questions around this, please text in the comment section. If you're coming across my channel for the first time, do also hit on the subscribe button. I share everything UK immigration, transition into tech, and personal finance on this channel. So do also hit on the subscribe button. And for my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So if this will be the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.